Hey guys, Wolvie here, and this is the Caius character spotlight video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global. This is the 20th of March 2020. Now, before I get to certain things now, I have an announcement regarding the upcoming stream. Now, I'm going to be doing a preview way differently than the past because I'll be at work, and sadly, I'll have to catch the replay for this specific date. So, when it comes down to the, I'm trying to word this without making it sound too wordy, is that for the calendar preview, I am going to be using some like images of some characters because there is some stuff coming up in the month of April that is noteworthy, that sort of thing. So I'm going to be doing the preview a lot differently, so that way I am up to stuff. So I'm going to be going over certain things in sense of what to expect, that sort of thing, which is completely different than what I've been doing in the past. And like I said, it's only because I am going to be at work. I won't be able to catch the live. I'll probably catch part of it, part of the live thing, but not the entire thing. So it's one of those things where I'm going to do it completely different than in the past. So that, and then there's a Gabrith, how do I want to word that? The Gabrith rework analysis. Once I see information on the rework, I'll get into that as well, because it does come with the debut of his LD weapon, that sort of thing. So, with that, I'll have the Tomberry troop and the Cydia database website info in the description below. The disclaimer, as always, any opinion in this video is my opinion only. So we do know that with Caius' Lost Chapter came his rework and his LD. I had to pity his LD because that's my dude. But either way, it's one of those things where if he were to get a second rework, where could they go with that? So with that, I'll meet you all at the whole thing. You see Caius, that sort of thing. So I'll be back. Padra Ballad Caius, which is the Grand Pulsian wording order for his name. So this is Caius from Final Fantasy XIII-2. This is basically his bio, as you can see here. That sort of thing. So this is pretty much who he is. He is the antagonist person for XIII-2. He is a villain in Lightning Returns as well. A little bit of spoiler of the trilogy. And we're going to go over his entire kit. So we're going to have here, skill 1 is Pulsar Burst. Skill 2 is Eye of Bahamut. His EX ability is called Inferno. His additional ability is Set Doom Crush, which is an HP attack. His LD ability is a Giga Graviton. Now, for his call ability, so for Caius, the call ability, if you have him as a call ability, is going to be Eye Bahamut. And the LD call is the Giga Graviton. So basically, it's like, how do you use him in battle? Now, thanks to his rework, they resolved a good deal of the issues he has had in the sense of longevity and damage dealing. Now, he has this thing where it's like, he can recover his own HP, which is really good. And then he can set debuffs on enemies, which makes things a lot more interesting. Now, he has the means to, set where it's like, you have that Doom Ticker. Once it expires, it's like your Brave is broken. Which is really, really good for certain situations. Now, the deal with his LD is that I want to say it's AoE split. Is that it unbreaks them and rebreaks them, which some people already have the means to. And I'm glad it's tied to his LD. So, the way you kind of want to work with him is just that it depends on the party composition he has, meaning that if somebody's already has Brave broken him, it's like you want to start off with the LD to re-break him, which helps in certain situations. Now, one situation that won't be of much use in the sense of the break, the turn delay via the re-break, and this is kind of odd for me to say this, is that, and this is recently introduced on Global, is that you're going to see a particular icon above the target, and there's a frame around it. If you see that frame around the target and sent to the turn order, that means they have to take their turn. There's no way you could get around that. So that's the only time, where the delay via rebreak will not work. So, again, for Caius, it really does depend on the composition of the team. Meaning that somebody goes before him and breaks them, the LD is probably your best bet to re-break them, and then in addition, get him at as close to 5 stacks as possible, because that way you can really see him shine. Now, with that, so let me see here. I'm gonna try to make this like about 10 minutes or so, give or take. So, if he were to get a secondary rework, I mean, what they could do is basically give him a free skill usage at the beginning of the fight. Now, no turn, doesn't add to the turn count because there are units who have that mechanism up and running already. Lena, who's still at 70-70 on JP to this day. You have Lightning, she's at 80-80, but does not have her LD extension to her character enhancement board. So, those are a couple of notable characters where it's like, you have that free skill usage right out of the gate, and it does not add to the turn count. So it's like the 2 turns, so they can do that with them, and then that way you could pop off skill 2, Eye of Bahamut, right out of the gate. Now, regarding some of the stuff they could do for a secondary rework, it's probably actually give him a couple more uses of Eye of Bahamut, because that way he doesn't run out of steam. Then when it comes to the debuffs he inflicts, is that they could extend the duration as well as make it more potent. Now, I won't be surprised if Bahamut, in addition, goes from AoE Splash to AoE Split, meaning that more damage is, like, across the board. Or, alternatively, they could do AoE Total. So, it's either one of those, it's a real, toss up in the sense of, the type of AoE damage. Now, with the, EX ability, I wish it was a little bit faster, so that way you don't have to rely on the skills, all that stuff to get it up and running. So, because of that, I would like to see the EX ability be able to use right out of the gate. Now, for Pulsar Burst, it's I actually have to really think about, certain aspects of it, but I would say, better, damage output, as well as maybe, that's the only thing I can really say is maybe the more damage output. But yeah. Now, that's the only thing I can really say about Caius, but he's really good with the current rework. So, but like I said, with a secondary rework, EX ability, if he can use it right out of the gate, that'd be great. As well as, or he has the whole thing with Lightning where it's you pop off a skill, which is free use, and then you go into the EX. That's something that would probably work best for Caius. Now, the damage potencies, that could be improved. And then also with the debuffs he inflicts, that could be, more potent as well as a longer duration. And for the buffs he can put on himself, that guy can see a little bit of improvements there as well. But like I said, this is not going to be too long of a video. I actually have to get ready for work. So I'm actually done with this particular video. But before I do finish it, April will be Ultimecia, provided I have not done a video on her as of yet. And the whole thing, to reiterate, the whole thing with the upcoming stream thingamajig, is that I'm going to be doing it substantially different than before because I'll be at work. Not so much, when airing, but it's the aftermath, that sort of thing, because I just don't like being late to work. That's just my thing. So that's down there, and I'm done with this video for real. With Wolvie here, signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.